Hello, welcome to Arcade Couch, best place to be friends, get game goodness each and every Monday. My name's Dylan Blight, and joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here this week.
Okay, how about last week?
I was phoning it in last week.
Fair enough. I'll say here, Merchant.
Guys, I need to just pause the podcast for a second. I just got to book in the early conventions that we're going to next year. So normally it's May, we go the esports one. The esports one, right? We go to that one.
There's an esports one.
Sorry? What do you...
No, you go to that the one in Melbourne, right? The one that
the one in Rod Laver. Remember we recorded the podcast with the cosplay thing going on in the background.
Melbourne esports.
It was like an esports, and then there was a whole other thing.
Was there esports though?
There was actually esports.
KitCon.
Yeah, wasn't it a massive behind the scene meetup between creators behind the paywall?
Yeah, because there was they gave out 1,000 creator passes to it. That one.
And then nobody bought tickets.
Yeah,
because they all got passes.
Do you think that you would have thought? I mean,
It's coming off a little bit mean spirited for something that just got killed.
You know it's coming off bad when Ash is the one that goes, "Jeez, this is awkward."
Rest in peace, DreamHack Melbourne. You have served us well, along with all the other esports events that have come and gone for Melbourne and for Australia as a whole.
What do we actually think went wrong there? Because they apparently had signed a deal with Melbourne for several more years.
I think it was wrong venue. It caught in its own identity of, was it an esports event or was it trying to be another PAX event or something of the same? I just don't think it had kind of... Thing is, right, I think as we said last year, or this year, it keeps moving further and further away from esports, which was the whole thing that its identity was originally supposed to be. So then it kind of didn't have an identity. It was hey, we're attempting to be PAX again, but in May instead of October.
It's very weird because I think we spoke about after the event, last year's event, and I don't think any three of us were big fans of the show. So I don't think this is this trying to tread carefully around the mean spirited. Of course, there's people who worked on it, sad, blah blah. But just judging the event as an event, not the people who made it.
Exactly.
The thing. But I still definitely feel like that was a problem. And I was thinking about it more a couple of months ago when, what was it, the DreamHack
Austin?
Austin was on a couple of months back or something. Yeah.
And it's massive. It's huge.
It's huge. And they have some of the stuff we was complaining about, which is the non-esports stuff. But I think the thing I was thinking more about is they have so much more esports stuff that then when you add in hey, we have Brendan Lee Mulligan and all these other people there, it seems less less of a detraction from
they had stuff like Overwatch World Cup, they had CS there, they had League of Legends stuff there. They have and I guess that's just as a whole the whole aspect of Australia's esports scene. And I think sadly Australia's esports scene just isn't going to grow.
Do you reckon they cancelled it because they were concerned that all their target audience won't know about the event, seeing as they banned social media for everybody on 16?
I don't know. I think it's such a weird spot for it to be in. It's not even it hasn't cemented itself. It's the same thing that I'm really now interested what happens to the Game Expo.
It's still on next year.
Yeah, which is still on next year, but it's okay, what does the Game Expo do?
There's no way that event costs anywhere near the amount of money that it costs for DreamHack.
No.
DreamHack is a American show brought over to Australia. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's already looking to make to bring an American con to Australia, the bar for like what a successful show would be is already up to here, you know, to make it worthwhile,
100%.
I assume. Whereas the Game Expo, local Melbourne run event, the bar for a successful event, I'm sure is like, like this isn't
100%.
supposed to be mean, but like it's obviously a lot lower than something like DreamHack is. So, yeah. Although it is sort of sad, less events.
It's sad there's less events. It is sad overall in terms of. It's just the thing for me is I guess I come at from a very jaded and pessimistic point of view on it because this is like the third or fourth esports event in Melbourne that has like attempted it, come around and died, and they're always at fucking Rod Laver / Margaret Court Arena. I just don't know. It's just stuff like, you know, they've got Fortress Melbourne, which has an actual esports arena in it. Why is it just doesn't feel like there's more being done there with it? And I feel like there's a lot more progression that needs to happen with esports in Melbourne and esports in Australia as a whole. And I don't know how it ever happens or gets done. Even like kind of I guess the biggest Australian esports team or representation right now is FlyQuest in Counter-Strike, and they moved out of the country. And I don't know if they play Europe or NA, but and then they come back every now and then for events. But if you're an Australian team that has any potential or any possibility for growth within the esports scene of your choice, you have to leave the country.
I mean, a couple of years ago, or could be more than a couple of years ago, when we had proper League of Legends Australian teams and stuff, they were streaming that shit weekly, so you could watch it and stuff like that. Which I think, if you want, my thing is always, if you want to treat esports like a proper sport, you can't do every 6 months expect people to show up to something like DreamHack and do a big thing.
Yeah,
you got to have weekly stuff
content
with a small and like just take the small showings. You know, if someone turns up to a what was it, VFL? Was that the
VFL? Yeah, correct.
Someone turns up to a VFL game. There's 50 people there. There's 50 people there. You know, they don't go like, oh no, let's like shut down the whole thing. You know, like you got to do a show for 50 people, and then get a larger audience. You know, I don't.
But you know, a lot of the people coming into esports are in there for the quick buck. You know, or like who want to set up and like.
Or
be in the league. They want to see return quickly. They don't want to
the sponsorships and stuff, dude.
Yeah, they don't want to grow something. You know, they don't want to be in the long. They don't want to commit to being in there for long haul. It seems.
No,
at least from an outside perspective. So it's tough because there's so much competition for eyeballs with everything. So you know, it's tricky.
Let's keep going down the sad rabbit hole. Press Start writes, ExoFine has been taken offline with local Aussie jobs sadly been cut in the process. Ubisoft has today announced that will discontinue development on ExoFine. It's free to play first-person shooter child at launch earlier this year. Starting today, the game will no longer be downloadable. For those still playing, Season 3 will release in the near future, and service will remain active until June 3rd, 2025. Despite the game having over 15 million people logging to play it and being the fastest Ubisoft game to surpass 5 million users, unfortunately, that wasn't enough to sustain long-term. Unfortunately, as a result of this, almost 300 people will lose their jobs, with some of these coming from Sydney Studio 134 from Osaka/Sydney. This is obviously a massive loss to our local industry, which has already faced a tough time over the last 12 months. Whilst Osaka and San Francisco studios have been totally closed, it said that studio will be ramped down. As I believe the only person to have played ExoFine here.
Definitely, yes, yep.
Bit of a bummer. That game was, I think,
how long
when
was
I've talked about it,
out for? Like how long?
6 months, probably.
Really? Ugh. Okay, that's. Yeah. Sorry, was ExoFine is the one with the Ubisoft?
Yeah, Ubisoft branded teams.
The Ubisoft branded, where they were trying to get like the Rainbow Six Siege people to be like
Rainbow Six Siege, but
yeah, like they were trying to use those characters in the game.
Yeah, there was a Rainbow Six team and a Splinter Cell team and a Far Cry team.
Sorry, thank you. No,
a Watch Dogs team.
Yeah.
Now I played a decent amount of this game. And I believe when I came in here and talked about it, and I'll stand by, I should have said it was pretty good. And I'll stand by that. It was surprisingly good. I think the game's problem was, unlike another game we're going to talk about soon, it didn't have the pull power of like random characters from Rainbow Six, the random faction from The Division, the random bad guys from Ghost Recon. None of these are characters or IP or property that pull people in and people give a shit about. Now, the game's combat was fun. The maps were really good. The gunplay was actually quite good. The power ups, ultimate abilities on the characters, all of it was good. However, I think most people chose to not give the game a go because of an image problem. And it being Ubisoft. And Ubisoft like having
The thing is,
sort of
I think by image problem, I don't think it's like an image is like it had a negative image or anything or bad. I just think honestly the game had no image.
That's what I mean.
The shot that I can remember, or the thing that loads in my head is like the loads. Fucking hell, the thing that like kind of comes up in my head.
That loads in my head.
The thing that like loads in my head is like the poster for ExoFine is like a character holding a gun with like black on black tactical gear, and that's it. Like no personality, no kind of bland. The very bland kind of nothing to hold on to or grasp onto to draw my interest in. You know, like nothing to be like, oh, that's the thing of it. Like even like say fucking Rainbow Six Siege has a bunch of characters that all have personality, that all have more to them that you can latch onto and understand.
Yeah. Any thoughts on ExoFine, Ash?
No, obviously, you know, it's in a crowded marketplace. Obviously, I don't know, maybe it just had too much of a beta period. Because obviously there was a lot of word of mouth when it was initially launched, and there was the beta or like, you know, early access period where it was like select people had access to whatever, and there was a bit of buzz around there, and then eventually it kind of just dropped without any fanfare for everybody. So, you know, you need to have a massive launch for these type of games, otherwise, you know, you just very quickly peter out. But
I think I'd say it definitely didn't. You can't like accuse it of coming out at the wrong time, because I think launching that in May, pretty much the opposite end of the year to like, Call of Duty
from
was
everything.
Was like you're not going to launch that anywhere near into Call of Duty. So all right, let's talk about some stuff we have been playing. So it's all about Overwatch clones this week, because we're talking about Marvel Rivals. That's not. Don't give me that face. Let's be honest.
Let's
just be honest. Marvel Rivals is a game that's very much going for the jugular of wanting the Overwatch core audience. Kieran's going, which is why Kieran likes it so much. There's nothing wrong with that. However, I do think that's exactly what it's going for. I do think an interesting topic to bring up once you give your thoughts, though, is comparing this to, was it Dauntless? No. What's the Steam one?
Deadlock.
Deadlock, sorry.
Yeah.
Comparing this to Deadlock. Deadlock is the
completely
game that's
different.
like the game that's like going for the Overwatch audience but trying to innovate. Marvel Rivals is like, we're giving you that core shit that you Overwatch fans liked, and a bunch of Marvel characters. Fucking give us your money. So Kieran, obviously you've played the most, you've been super excited for it. Let's get into it.
I have. It's funny, there was a point this week where you had technically played more of this game than I had, because I hadn't played any on Friday at all.
You played the beta, though. I didn't play the beta.
I did. That's fair. Yeah. Okay, no. We'll take
I mean, technically on the stats of the game.
Yeah, on the stats of the game at the time, you had played more on this version of the game. No, I have, I think my Steam's up to like 11, 12 hours. 15 hours. Is up to 15 hours, and I started yesterday. I really am enjoying my time so far with Marvel Rivals. I think it has come out as an extremely well polished and well put together game. And it's funny because you look at this and yes, we're going to talk about it in comparison to Overwatch 2 and Overwatch. And Overwatch 2, when it came out, it had the setup of Overwatch 1. It should have learned all these lessons from everywhere else, and it still fumbled and stumbled in its opening kind of foray into that game's life. Fucking Marvel Rivals has come out the gate, and it's just doing things right. It's already come out and said, look, there's 33 heroes on launch. The devs have said, look, we're never going to charge you to play a character. The only thing you have to pay for is skins. The Battle Pass has come out. The Battle Pass, they've said, hey, Battle Pass, there is no time limit on the Battle Pass. You can complete this whenever you want, and as long as the game is up, you will be able to complete the Battle Passes. So I think everything is pro-consumer in terms of what Marvel Rivals is doing. The game itself, very enjoyable. It's learned a lot of lessons from Overwatch, and of course, as Dylan said, like it has taken a lot of what Overwatch does and kind of pulls into the Marvel universe. But I think at the same time, it does a really interesting job at crafting those into new situations or kind of finding a new vein on where it can go with it. You know, innovations like characters like Cloak and Dagger, is very interesting to have. You know, Overwatch doesn't have any characters that's two characters in one that you manually switch between that have separate abilities and everything. So Marvel Rivals is pushing the envelope in that way. I think it's in a great spot. It is season 0 this month, so it isn't even in a full proper season. It's going to have a shorter period this month until the start of next year. I think next year, the start of next season, they'll probably tackle some of the issues. I think at the moment, the map pool feels a little bit small, and the shuffler or like the map selection tool that they've got at the moment, I feel doesn't work very well because you spend periods of time playing the same map for multiple games in a row, which can be a little bit frustrating. I think the character roster is very well balanced. I think, as with all games, it isn't perfectly balanced. I think there is still bits and pieces. But the nice thing is, when you read comments online, when you see comments made in game, it's not just one or two characters being talked about as broken. It's like 20 characters. You'll see all people having different opinions and having different, like, yes, there'll be there's the main couple.
So everything's broken.
No, it's not. But like everything feels strong, which is I guess a very opposing mantra to what maybe Overwatch does or what games recently have done, where anything that is strong gets kind of belted into the ground until it's not so strong anymore. I think it's exciting to play. Competitive was just released today. That game mode feels really like the competitive scene feels really good for it. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to play more. It's definitely going to become the main thing that's going to pull me away from playing single player games for a couple months. But yeah, I've loved every minute I've played with it so far.
We've lost him again, and this time it's because of Spider-Man. Ash, you've played some. You've got the console opinion. So
yeah, I've got the console
kids.
opinion. You know, I'm missing everybody.
Console kids appearing in my games.
All I want to say
I
is
feel like I'm getting taken out.
Play some games with Kieran today. Every time we lost, if there was console players on our team, that was the reason we lost.
Yeah.
So the game would end. He would go, "Of course, 2 fucking console players. That's why we lost."
Fucking
That's probably fair. No, I think obviously, you know, not a big Overwatch person, so but you can definitely see the influence of the maps and the way the game's played. You know, a lot of the characters are kind of modeled on different people, like or like you definitely see the influences and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've enjoying jumping in, and like, you know, the matches run pretty quickly. I would say like the longest is maybe like 15 minutes. If you're really like back and forth on like a map or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's the thing is probably just trying to find characters I enjoy playing, and like I think the battle pass and the mission structure like kind of make you swap around different characters and at least give them a go. You know, if you're after that platinum trophy, you're gonna have to play every single character and do some sort of special event and that kind of stuff. So yeah, obviously there's a lot there, while obviously not having much there. I think there's 3 maps, I think, right? 3 3 themes.
Three locations.
3
And then
locations, yes.
No.
There's the Tokyo, there's
Tokyo. There is
there's
there's
Valhalla.
Valhalla, like
There's
Yggdrasil,
Wakanda.
Valhalla. There's Wakanda. There is the Hydra base.
Yeah.
I think it's 4 or 5. I think
Yeah,
there
okay.
is. But yeah, there's several maps
8
per.
maps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
There's 8 maps according to Google.
Okay. But yeah, it seems like there's a
3
lot there,
game
while
modes.
also there are a lot of potential for more to come.
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon you'll play more, Ash?
I mean, yeah, just to like hit those dailies, just keep like knocking those out, you know. It's like an easy, you know. You just play until you get frustrated of losing.
Just don't
Isn't that
lose.
how it works?
Just don't lose.
Yeah.
Just get good enough so you don't lose.
Get that mouse.
Exactly.
Get
Get the mouse and keyboard, and you just choose
Be
the
like,
server
oh.
rate. Look, when you start playing fun characters, you do what I did today while playing with Dylan, all right? You play your fun characters, you muck around a little bit, and then when you're like, man, I'm kind of getting annoyed with us like dropping this point or losing it, you then jump onto your top tier characters, which I call my server admins, where I delete the rest of the team. Because yeah, it's just fun, and you just gotta get to that level.
What I learned today is I like to have fun in video games sometimes. I don't know if you know this, Ash. Sometimes I like to I just like to do silly things, you know. I'm just mucking around. I'm playing a video game for the fun. I'm I'm playing a game, bunch of comic book characters, just do some weird silly shit sometimes. Now I'm playing as Punisher, and and what I do is I grapple hook my fucking way right into the middle of a fight. And I just jump on his turret in the middle of the fight. Terrible decision because I'm just going to die pretty fast, right? But it looked pretty funny. Now, I die pretty fast. And I hear Karen go, some fucking Punisher.
No. So let me tell you what I've witnessed, right? What I've witnessed is I've died. I've gone to a kill cam, and this Punisher is sat on his turret with this big boulder in front of him, and behind the boulder is a Groot and a Rocket sat, right? And all this Punisher is doing is just shooting endlessly at the boulder. If he just tilted up a little bit, probably would have been shooting the Groot and the Rocket. But no, he is just like in this boulder.
I mean, that boulder was destructible, right?
No, it wasn't. It's just no.
Now I'm shooting a lot of random shit in this game because a lot of it is destructible. So there's only one way to find out.
No. There's actually, if you press the Alt key, it just highlights anything that's breakable.
All right, that's
you're
boring.
Fine. No, you're fine.
It's right on the key on the D-pad.
Okay, and Ashley knows as well. So, and that's why I was like, I remember being like, oh, we're not winning this game. This Punisher we've got is terrible.
Shit.
You know, like here he's still like, that's me. Oh, God. Yeah.
I was having fun.
I was having fun. Don't get me wrong. I was having fun.
I think the game's okay. I think it's not balanced at all. Like between the characters, I definitely feel like they're all over the place. With my couple hours of playing between today and yesterday, I just feel like there's shit that just doesn't make sense to me. Like I was saying to you, I feel like Hulk's completely underpowered. You say he's not. I think he's underpowered. I think there's shit.
Has the Hulk grabbed you before?
Yeah.
No, the thing is, right, we're playing in this low bottom feeder matchmaking bracket while we're playing today. And all the Hulks were doing was just running in straight lines at the team by themselves without the rest of them. So of course they were just getting obliterated and turned back.
I just feel like he should be
pretty
tanky.
tanky.
I feel like Venom's tankier than
yeah, but Venom has Venom has a
ability where he can activate a shield, but the Hulk
he has a shield.
No,
but Hulk does that as well. But the Hulk is when he's just running straight at you, he's just a big old piece of meat. He's just a big old boy.
Because there's also other shit that doesn't make sense to me. Like if Hawkeye like headshots you from across the map, they say that should like deservingly one shot hit you. But then also as much as I love playing fucking Jeff the Shark, the OP, I swear he does as much damage as like there's just stuff that doesn't really make.
So Hawkeye has to aim at you for an extended period of time to charge a shot. You get like a little bar down the bottom that like once it's at 100%, if you headshot most like strategists and most like duelists, they'll just die. But you've just got to be good enough to be aiming at them and to keep track of somebody for long enough to make the shot.
They even feel like Jeff, like, but then
Jeff the Shark.
Jeff does too much damage, I feel.
No, he doesn't. No, because he'd be fucking shit if he didn't do any damage.
He's a healer.
The thing is, no, he's not a healer. Get that shit out of your head. They're not.
He's a support character.
He's a strategist. At support. He's a strategist. They don't. It's not specifically healers. Like this is the thing. We'll see more characters get added into that role that don't excel at healing. I just think for the start of the game, we have excel at healing. But at the minute, Jeff's biggest asset is that dumb as shit ulti, which is the most, like, in some ways is like the most busted thing in the game at the moment. But I love it. And it's pretty easy to fix. You just don't let the Jeff jump off the side during his ulti, so he doesn't suicide himself.
I will say, I'm very glad that this game like saves random clips apparently, because when I stopped playing with you, I looked in my replays and it had saved for me the clip where I ate all those people and jumped off the side of the cliff. So
yeah, it's like yeah. So at the moment, that's probably something they need to patch, maybe just a little bit. But I think, the healers are supposed to do, like, they're not healers, the supports, the strategists. Strategists are supposed to do damage. They're not supposed to be just walking fucking health packs, because that's kind of boring to play.
Yeah, I don't say you shouldn't do no damage.
And look, there's nothing, I've had several hours so far giggling because I've bought the fluffy pink costume for
cool.
Jeff the Shark, and just riding around on my friend's back as Groot and just having the time of my life. Just shooting shit and healing and like, yeah, getting uppies whenever I need to get away from something scary. Like it is, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So the I think the best thing this game's doing is it's all the combo team based stuff and interactions and stuff like that makes this game fun. Outside of even the way the powers interact and stuff. Like when I was playing as, I didn't even realize how it worked, but I was playing? I was playing as Peter Quill, Star-Lord, and I think
you've got Adam Warlock on your team or Mantis.
Well,
I think no. I think you have to.
Warlock.
So
I was getting
Adam Warlock is
and I was getting ice-based fucking powers out of somewhere.
So the ice-based thing is you get given that by Luna Star.
Yeah, that's right. One of those.
Like that's just one of her support abilities to give you the icy stuff. But no, Adam Warlock, Mantis, and Peter Quill. As long as Adam Warlock plus one of the other two or both, the other two get revive. So on your first death, and then it's like a minute cooldown or something.
Yeah, I got revived. I died twice and never died because they were like, I guess 5 minutes apart or some shit.
Well,
so
like it just adds it. And the thing is, they've already set those up so that like they can be seasonal and they can change what things do, and that can be patched and changed between seasons, which is pretty fun. I'm very excited. Like Wolverine can be thrown by Hulk. There's all different ones for different characters, so they're very fun to play around with and see what you get.
They're definitely going to do that thing because it's already like when you go look at the characters and the skins and it's like from Loki season 2 and all this sort of shit. It's like, okay, now that the game's live, when new Disney Plus shows and movies come out, they're just going to have
they're going to jump
massive crossover content.
And even just the stuff like they've done it really well in terms of the presentation of it and like actually making the skins. And you can tell that people actually give a fuck when they're making the skins and putting the skins in. Of like kind of what different versions of variety of characters we're getting. I'm excited for more.
Now I just say, look, I talked about it to you before, but the only other point of controversy, and you've already said how you feel, but I do find it interesting that some people I've seen complaining about the Battle Pass, but you're saying you really like it. I was reading today an article of all these people complaining about it, saying they don't like it because you don't automatically earn Battle Pass XP from like winning or completing game. You only earn Battle Pass XP from like completing the specific challenges, and that means you can only earn a certain amount of Battle Pass XP per day. Because if you've done all your weeklies and dailies and whatever else, then you're out of shit.
So why is the thing is for me the thing is, right, that is immediately balanced out by the fact you can just save your coins and buy whichever part of the battle pass you want. If you just want to go through and grab all the skins, you can go through and grab the skins. You don't have to grab everything. It makes the battle pass go over the month. You feel like there's progression there as a week, and then even the progression as well is like these little stories that are happening at the same time. Once you've completed some objectives, you actually get a story, and it's being told in weekly parts for each segment and each section of the arc or like the saga that's currently going on in Marvel Rivals. Yeah, and then like you'll get like if you complete it all, you get like a comic book that's in like this little collectible section that you can read through the comic book in the game to tell you what was the story of that season.
There is a story to this game as well, but who really cares? Something about Dr. Doom meeting his future self or
two
something.
Dooms fighting over and creating weird shit happening. Yeah,
good for them. All right, other game I've been playing this week. Other major release from this week, of course, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The surprise, I think, last second Game of the Year contender. Well, not for this week's Game Awards show because it wasn't eligible. But
I'm so bummed because imagine all the jokes we could have made about it being the indie game of the year.
It's swinging in at the last minute.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I honestly do feel like this is going to jump up a lot of people's lists out of nowhere. I haven't finished the game yet, but I'm having a really, really good time with it. I mean, I was keen to play it because I like I like a lot of people. I like the original trilogy of Indiana Jones movies. Watched them a bunch when I was growing up. I've even watched the Young Indiana Jones TV show because my dad was like, "Oh, we have to watch this," after he showed me all the movies as a kid and stuff. So, like, I have a fondness for the character and the world and stuff. But like a lot of people, also the franchise hasn't been good for a long time. We've had 2 bad to average movies, depending on how you feel about them. And without having finished this is easily the best Indiana Jones thing we have had since the fucking 21st century's come round. It is a really weird mix because it is take the developer of the Wolfenstein games, which are fast-paced, big first-person shooters where you're dual-wielding machine guns and fighting robotic Nazis and stuff, and you're going, well, how are they going to do a Indiana Jones game? Like, can they? Is this what we're just going to be running around, pistol whipping everyone and stuff? And it's not. It's like super slowed down. And I think that's part of the reason I'm really, really enjoying it. The game starts with a very, very, very faithful recreation of the opening sequence from Raiders of the Lost Ark, where you play through everything up until the moment he grabs the golden idol, the boulder comes down. I think I saw IGN or someone put up like a shot by shot side by side for it. It's very cool. Just playing through that was fantastic. And then it sort of jumps ahead, I don't know, like a year, 6 months. I think it's like a 6 months gap. And it's like it all just plays out like you're a very good, like the way you'd expect an Indiana Jones movie, I guess, play it. Like he's back at the school. He wakes up in the middle of the night to these sounds going off. There's someone that's broken into the museum at the school there. It's a big tall monster dude played by what's his name? The dude who played Candyman. He passed away this
Tony
year. Tony Todd, thank you. He played Venom as well. Sorry, that's what I should have said. He's like plays this dude. He like gets a big fight with Indy. He steals something, and then he like leaves his medallion behind, which then Indy's able to decipher as like this secret cult symbol of the Vatican or something. Like you're already like down the road of like, yeah, here we go, some like secret fucking religious organization shit. Let's go, baby. Like this is what we're into for these sorts of games. So then Indy, the first like proper full-on level for the game is like sneaking into the Vatican with all these like fascists, like people around. It's just so good. You like steal money from, like you can steal money from the desk, and Indiana Jones just goes like, fascists don't need money anyway, or some shit like that. It's just like good shit that's happening. I mean, I have not used. I'll say this, and I don't know if I don't want to say I'll never use it because it's not like I'm not purposely trying to. But I just haven't used my pistol once in this game, and it doesn't feel like I ever really will need to. Like there was a certain stage in the game where like I picked up more pistol ammo, and I'm like, I don't know, can I sell it? I don't really know. Like my whip's all I need, my dude. I got my whip and my fists. What more do you need? Because it is like, I don't say it's like a stealth game. I think people have been using the right term, which is like that like it's a sim game to a degree.
It's a Indiana Jones simulator.
Yeah, Indiana Jones simulator, and like the first level definitely seems like plays out something like a Dishonored level or something like that. You know, you've got a map that you can open in your like you can choose to play with like very minimal or minimal like objective stuff or like a lot. So like the video game basically tells you where to go. I've played with everything as the default, the way the game's intended to be played way. So not a lot of objective markers and stuff, which I think makes it fun because then you have to like open the book to look at a little map to see where you need to go. But there's all these different pathways and stuff across the location that you could go. But there's also all these secrets you can find and little alleyways and stuff. I mean, I picked up a couple notes in that first level, which led me to a secret passage next to a fireplace because I like turned all these photo frames upside down, and then that took me through to like the end of the level anyway. And I was like, okay, but like how would I have got there if I didn't find this secret passageway, which I stopped to find? You know, like so just it feels like you're naturally sort of finding your way to where you need to go anyway. Once you get to the Vatican, this is where I think the game, because I was really intrigued with the review scores. They were a bit all over the place.
Well, the first review score I saw was a 6. And I was like,
funniest?
oh no, Microsoft, not again.
From what I've gathered, for a lot of people, where the game sort of falls apart for them or doesn't, is when you get to these more open worldy little areas, which the first one's the Vatican. So you get here and Harrison Ford dresses up in like priest garb, which is very funny because, you know, like, and I'll tell you what, Troy Baker's accent performance as Harrison Ford could not be more perfect. From the subtle grunts to the every word, every euphemism, like it just sounds so much like Harrison Ford. It is crazy good. And I mean, saying Troy Baker does a good job as a performance in a video game's like saying the sky's blue, but he does a really, really good job at doing Harrison Ford here. But like,
when are we going to get a video of Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones?
I hope so. There's so many parts of, like, someone come past me like, thank you, father, and he'll be like, thank you, kid. Like, just like the most Harrison Ford shit.
I feel like he would be he would actually be into it.
Yeah, probably. But it's in this section. You can beeline it and just go, okay, here's the objective. Because when you get there, basically, you need to go around Vatican City. You need to go talk to this dude, get a camera, and then you need to like sneak through a couple areas and snap some pictures of these like murals that can help decipher something to lead you to the next place. However, you can also, along this way, stop and discover a lot of side and optional content. And I think some people, this is one of those things where I'm going to say something that I usually would never say, because I think in a lot of games, and I've complained about this stuff, like, you know, the God of War games, where it's like, why are we stopping to do this shit? Doesn't make any sense. Why are we stopping to do this shit? You know, doesn't make any sense. Whatever else. I've seen people say that for this sort of game. Like, why is Indiana Jones stopping to do random little side quests? I don't feel the same sort of rush for the quest and the story, at least where I'm at currently, when I was at this first stage, that I usually would feel in these sorts of games. And it also helps that a lot of the optional stuff I was doing felt like it was playing in towards the main quest anyway. Like, I walk past this random professor dude, and he's like, "Oh, I was excavating this site. It had a picture of this thing on it." And then Indiana's like, "Oh, well, I reckon it was this. Blah blah blah. Who took it? Oh, they've hidden it away. Go do this." And then you like go basically save this kid and get back this little thing they've brought up from excavation site, and it all ties into the main mission anyway, or he thinks it does tie into the main mission anyway, like part of the same story. So I don't feel like it was a bunch of wasted time, but that has been a common. At least in the couple quick summarized reviews I quickly read through, that is a complaint I saw some people have, which maybe I'll change my mind as I don't know as the game furthers. But so far, I'm just having a lot of fun just exploring these little open worlds and I don't feel like the game's in a huge rush. Like it's like you're at this stage, you don't even know what you're doing. Like Indiana Jones is like, a dude stole something from me. I want to find him to find out why he stole it. Like it doesn't feel like there's a, oh my god, the world's about to end mentality like pushing you behind the game. So yeah. I feel like I'm babbling at this point. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm super keen to play more. It's sort of come out of nowhere to be as good as I think it is. To be honest, I was very shocked with how much I was enjoying it. Like I thought I'd have fun, but I'm having a lot more fun than I thought I would be having. How's everyone else's reactions? Ash, how's your reactions been to seeing the reviews and stuff pop up and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I probably like hearing it. Also saw a pretty middling review, which the kind of funny cast on giving their thoughts. Interesting because I didn't realize there were going to be open world sections. Like I was expecting very much an Uncharted-esque experience, I guess. Whereas this seems to be so maybe a little bit more like Tomb Raider, I guess, to stay in the games of a similar genre, where that also had like open worlds and you kind of backtrack and that kind of stuff. How did you feel about the combat? Like, is it fine? The whipping and the fisticuffs, the first person fisticuffs?
Yeah, I was about to say, as I said, I haven't shot anyone, so I can't tell you how the gunplay is like. But the fisticuffs is fine. You can like you know, it feels good. You punch someone that has a real oomph to it. They've definitely added a lot of bass to the sound effect. You can parry it, do different sorts of things. I'll tell you, my favorite thing though is like whip. You can whip someone, you can pull them towards you, and then like fucking like punch them as you pull them towards you and shit like that. So that's pretty fun. But my favorite thing is, I'd say this: the game stealth is not like great. It's fine. However, it's a lot of fun because you can pick up like a lot of objects in the world, like bottles, spades, guitars, and shit like that, and then it'll do different animations of how you take down enemies with them. So you like grab a fucking full-on guitar and Indiana like sneaks up behind someone, like trips him up in the legs and then just fucking like Jeff Jarrett fucking smacks him over the head with it. That's pretty fun.
I hear the AI is not very good in the game. It's the other one thing
I've seen, I think it's fine. I mean, I saw someone on Bisky today, the old Blue Sky, saying that they reckon the AI was a lot better if you bumped it up to hard. But I mean, honestly, I'm fine. Like, it's not super challenging, but also I'm not looking for a super challenge.
We all know Nazis were dumb in real life. So.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fine. I have no problems. Kieran, how's your what did you saw a shitty review? Like,
the thing is, I'm just happy that I'm happy that it's good. I'm happy that it's good. Like I'm happy that for the devs and for the, because I'd hate to be, God, the pressure they must have been under, right? For the last since 12 to 18 months since it was announced, and especially how much of that growing pressure grew as Xbox exclusives came out and fell short and fell short and fell short. So to hear this at first, get some rocky reviews, and then people overcome that and surpass that, and kind of to see that isn't where people are lying on this. I think it's great for Xbox. I think it's great for machine games. Indiana Jones deserves a good video game, no matter what. And I think that it's good to see that, there is positive. So I hope, it sooner rather than later they announce the PlayStation release date for.
I think they said as a season.
A season, okay. So because I think to build upon that and get that across that and get people to play it, and then to continue and use that as momentum to push forward with Avowed. If we go into Indiana Jones being well received, to Avowed being well received, and then that flowing into the remaining, the next games in the Xbox catalog to come out, I think it's a great thing for Microsoft Studios, and I think it's a great thing for everybody there. It shows like an upswing and up tilt for it. I'd say the only thing that's weird is the premium edition pricing. I think it was I saw maybe Buddy said the other day $170 or something to play it early. I don't think it was Buddy. It was somebody else I was reading. $170 to play it a couple of days early, even though it's coming out on Game Pass, which is a bit strange.
What else do you get? Like obviously full transparency. I just got my review code, so I don't know what the fuck I even got.
Let me click on this. Let me click on this because when you go into it, like for Game Pass, it's like.
Do I have a costume? I can't see because it's first person.
No. Actually, no. So the upgrade, so the digital premium upgrade. So if you buy this, it's $60 Australian, as long as you have Game Pass.
Okay.
So if you buy the upgrade, it is 100. So for the premium edition,
which just gets you early access, is that it?
I'm just reading. So includes base game, 3 days early access, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the Order of Giants story DLC, digital art book, Temple of Doom outfit.
Okay.
And that's it.
There's DLC for this game?
Yes, there is DLC already announced for this game. Correct. So it's not much. It's $170 is a fucking insane thing when you're like, oh, for your $22 description, subscription, you're going to get the game 3 days later. And you could probably knock it out in a month. Even if you only want to subscribe to Xbox for just to play Indiana Jones, probably do like either get a code for like a free month or go pay you $20 and play it anyway.
He's both wanting to check it out. When it
yes,
pops on
yeah,
Game Pass?
100%. I will be. Yes, yep.
Yes. I already have it pre-installed. So
nice. I've heard the PC performance is a bit rocky, but they might have fixed that by not very well optimized. But looks real pretty though. Very very pretty game.
That's good.
Oh, the music too. No. Got all the good tunes. All the good tunes. It's been a bit.
Would you say it's better than the last two movies so far?
Oh, yes, easily. I haven't even
Actually, he said it's the best thing that's come out Indiana Jones wise in the 21st century.
Yes.
Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if that was straightforward enough. I was trying to do it.
No, I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's easily so much better. But I don't know. I feel like those two movies are so rough that the bar's pretty low. Also, Indiana Jones in this can power slide not across the ground if he wants to. Harrison Ford couldn't do that, so you know, he would hurt his ankle or something. You know. All right. I will say I haven't played it yet. But I did. I was like, fuck it. I just brought the Path of Exile 2 Founders Edition thing too as well. So I got that shit installing. So too many games, you know. Too many games, not enough time.
How much was the
$37, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
I mean, it's free to play when it comes out, but I actually I liked Path of Exile. I'm playing a bit. That first one came out like fucking 15 years ago, well before any of us knew each other. So I've played a bit of that back in the day. So. Keen for that as well. And early reactions to that are good. Apparently, the servers were flooded yesterday when the game launched as of recording, and they were letting people in little troves at a time. So good for them. Good because definitely a lot of video games out to try. What are we looking forward to? We're not doing predictions as much as Ash wanted to, but what are we looking forward to at the Game Awards this week, Ash?
Splinter Cell. No. Do you know PlayStation? Give us something.
Yeah.
Don't just give us another Yotai trailer.
PlayStation's not going to give you anything. There's no way.
I mean, there's a pretty good chance another Yotai trailer. Hopefully, if they're actually doing it, the Horizon multiplayer game. If dream really big.
There's a lot of PlayStation stuff.
No, what I'm saying is in order of something from PlayStation.
Okay.
What's the one you said really big?
What?
What did you say if he was dreaming really big?
Dreaming really big, Wolverine trailer.
Oh, Wolverine trailer.
Not a chance.
It's been years, Kieran. Give us something.
It's been years, Kieran.
They're PlayStation, they don't care.
But it's mostly just going to be new games
PlayStation.
that Jeff's like, oh, this looks kind of cool, and you're going to give me a bunch of money? Okay.
Kieran, what are you hoping for?
I don't know if maybe maybe like something to do with GTA potentially. I don't know. I'm looking forward to new IPs. I'm open and excited for new IPs to be announced at the Game Awards because that is my favorite thing. In a world where new IPs are seemingly becoming less and less common, I would just be some excited for some new IPs everywhere.
PlayStation handheld, baby.
Gross. Not a chance. Not a chance. And you know what? If they did, it would be if they did, it would be terrible. It would not be a good handheld.
Just saying, there's smoke, there's fire at the moment. I don't know if anyone's keeping up with the rumors, but let's go.
I don't know. It's hard
baby.
My number one source of PlayStation news has currently been on hiatus, so it's hard.
What happened to that show?
I don't know.
Posting it well.
We should just kill that show and just merge it into this, right? And have a Platinum Explosion segment on this show, right?
You know what Ash says over there? We got to record this show that I will not name. And Ash goes, "You've just secretly killed this podcast, haven't you?" And I'll go, "I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about."
You should just kill that podcast and merge it into this one, and then just have a segment where we talk about it, all three of us together.
But that one's so much more popular than this one.
Well, that's why we merge audiences.
Mm.
I don't like change.
I don't like change. What do you reckon?
I like change.
7 awards. Do you reckon overs or unders presented?
Over. I'll go over 7.
What are we classing as presented?
Like, I'll say 6.5, I guess. Like, someone comes on stage and accepts.
Are we talking about no? But are we talking about actually on stage, or are we talking including like the ones where Jeff is randomly?
No. Someone has to accept
it
and hold the game. Oh,
I think over. Yeah. I think over.
Over 6.5.
Yeah, I think over.
Only just,
but I think over. Yeah.
Okay. Probably.
Yeah, I think it'll be a couple where somebody accepts the award with Jeff, and they have a bit of a back and forth conversation.
Do you reckon that? Do you reckon there'll be a significant push? Because obviously there was a lot of backlash last year about.
I don't think so. I don't think Jeff,
like obviously two things, like the number of awards presented and then how much time. Speeches,
don't think so
changes.
Because I don't think Jeff gives a fuck.
No, you don't. My favorite thing. Did you see Laura Bailey's doing an award this year?
Yeah, even though previously she's left to go play.
I can't remember who it was. Someone like I think. Who the fuck was it? I can't remember now. Someone like shared that with a link to a video that like had cut together the 2 times she showed up at Critical Role after just leaving the show.
Yeah. Which is funny because Critical Role is now pre-recorded.
So
it's pre-recorded now, so it's
easier.
That's why she can do it now. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But she'll leave as soon as she's done. Yeah.
Well, she's got Ronan at home.
We're keeping you up, Kieran, or what?
Yeah, apparently.
Too many late nights playing Marvel Rivals.
One late night.
And other stuff.
Actually, fuck. I was up till I literally looked at my phone last night. It was 1 a.m. And I was like, what the fuck? 1 a.m.?
You wild.
I
woke up this morning to see your message that was like, my name's so-and-so playing this. And I was like, I was asleep. He sent it like, I don't know, 11:15 or some shit. I was like, nah, dude. Big sleep people. No, actually, I wasn't asleep. That's a lie. I would have just been getting into bed because I went and watched an anime film last night. Like a big boy.
Whoa.
Because I'm a real true weeb. I'm a bigger weeb than you.
Sounds like it.
I can't stop yawning.
If you're listening to this in the car, I hope you're not yawning. What is this show? All right, that'll do it for this week's episode of Okay Cast. Thank you for listening. Check out explosionhour.com, of course, the website. You can find all the fun things over there. We'll be back next week to talk about the Game Awards and all the trailers, news, and stuff, the crazy things that happened there. Whoa, Vin Diesel came out. Whoa, what the fuck's going on there? They're making Fast and Furious Crossroads 2?
No, it's going to be Woody Harrelson.
Why?
Because Matthew McConaughey came out last year.
Oh yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. He's adding him into that Exodus game, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Follow us all. We're all 3 and Explosion Network now on Blue Sky. You can follow Explosion Network at explosionnetwork.com. That's very easy to say. All right, goodbye.